Here's a question that I posed the other day. And as soon as I ask you this question, you're going to know the answer, and it's going to be one of those things where you go, yep. Here's the question. If you don't follow the rules, do you get more or less rules? Mm-hmm. And this is like another interpretation of discipline equals freedom. That's what it is. It's another interpretation of discipline equals freedom. But my original angle on asking this question, came from not thinking about discipline equals freedom, but I was working with some people, working with a company. They have workers. The workers have a lot of freedom in this particular company. There's not a lot of supervision. People out there on their own doing their own thing, kind of, and some people take advantage of it. And they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing in some cases, but it's really hard to track. Maybe they take the extra long lunch break. Maybe they leave a little early. Maybe they show up late. Maybe they're not doing the procedures that they're supposed to be doing. And so guess what happens? Like these things start to show up. And then what does corporate start to do? Well, corporate then starts imposing rules. And then what happens? There's like these days you can track people like in a multitude of ways. Technology. You can if you worked for me and we were a software company, I could monitor your activity on your computer all day and be like, hey, you were on your computer, you only were active on your keyboard for this many things, you only put in this many characters. There was an hour and 48 minutes in the afternoon where you didn't input any characters. What were you doing? Right? Yeah. What were you doing? Or what if you were law enforcement and now I'm tracking you with a GPS and I'm like, oh, from 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 3:48, you were in this parking lot. In the back corner of this parking lot. What were you doing? How were you helping John Q. Public? Right? So I can start tracking you. Now I can start putting on rules. Yeah. And now how do you feel? Now you're getting frustrated, right? Now you feel like I'm watching you. You feel like I'm micromanaging you, and I am. Why is that? Well, it's because you were violating some stuff. So as I'm talking to this company, I asked that question to the workers, to the frontline troops. I said, let me ask you a question. If you don't follow the rules, do you get more or less rules? And you could see their faces kind of like, he's got a point there.
You do.
But here's the thing. Everyone knows the answer to that question. If you don't follow the rules, do you get more or less rules? The answer is, of course, you're going to get more rules. That's what's going to happen. And you've been experiencing this since you were a kid. When you were a kid and you broke a rule, you didn't get less rules, you got more rules. When you're a kid and your grades go down, you get more rules. You have mandatory homework time. You got study hall you have to go to. If you're causing problems at recess, you get more rules. So you're not allowed to go to recess. You got to sit here, write your name, I will not, push Freddie around the playground anymore. You got to write that on the board 1,000 times. You're going to get more rules. If you break more rules, you get more rules. Same thing as an employee or a team member. It's the same thing. If you break more rules, you get more rules. Actually, I told them about the Marine Corps. Now, I love the Marine Corps.
Yes, I do.
Marine Corps is freaking outstanding. If you go to a Marine Corps range, a lot of rules. They, hey, you will now lock and load 5 rounds in your weapon. Ready on the left, ready on the right. You will now fire 1 round at a time at your target at 40 meters. Stand by on the left, stand by on the right. Commence firing. Everyone fires 5 rounds. Cease fire, cease fire. You go to a SEAL range, there's just like no rules. Of course there's rules. Very limited rules. Right. Why is that? Well, in the Marine Corps, at some point, somebody shot, outside the field of fire, so they made a rule. Somebody shot too early, they made a rule. Somebody shot too late, they made a rule. Somebody went full auto when they weren't supposed to, they made a rule. Somebody snuck some rounds off the range when they were done, they made a rule. Somebody wasn't shooting the right targets, they made a rule. So they end up making all these rules. And you're getting control. That's what happens. You become less effective, actually. But why is that? It's because people broke the rules, and so they put more rules in place. If you're a human being, it's the same thing. If you break rules, or more commonly as just a human, if you don't have rules, you're going to get ruled. This is the discipline equals freedom. This is another angle on discipline equals freedom. That is why what we have to do as people is give ourselves rules. You have to give yourself rules to follow. You have to wake up. You have to wake up early in the morning. You have to work out. You got to take that cold shower. You got to get your work done for your job. You got to do that well. The better you do that, the more freedom you're going to get. Hey, if you're getting micromanaged at work, do better. If you feel like you don't have control over your own destiny, do better. You'll get more control. Be more productive. The more productive you are, the more freedom you're going to get at work. Guaranteed. It's guaranteed. Limit the amount, set some rules on the amount of time you're spending looking at a screen. Put rules on that. Otherwise, that screen's going to rule you. Put rules in place. Eat clean. What are you doing? Put some rules around what you're putting into your body. Put rules in place. If you're just doing whatever, you're going to have problems. The food is going to rule you. Go to bed on time. Go to sleep when you're supposed time to go to sleep. And if you follow these rules that you make for yourself, you're going to have less things in life ruling you. You know, when you work hard enough, eventually you don't have a boss anymore. You're your own boss. When you make enough money, eventually that money's not on your mind anymore. It's not ruling your life. You're not worried about how you're going to afford the rent. The money's not ruling you anymore when you work hard. When you're healthy, you're not ruled by disease. You're not ruled by fatigue. If you rule yourself with discipline, you will end up with more rules, which will, in fact, give you freedom.